Let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, the Reckless Amoeba podcast. A very literal one this week because it's just Brandon Horvath and Brandon Falinger.
Yeah. No, Orion's dead. It's October. We put him in a coffin. We thought, hey, he'll rise from the dead. It
Ne-
didn't work too well.
Next week he will. Next week.
Oh, is it not 3 days? Is it like a week or 2 weeks or something? Is that what it is? Different time scale?
Maybe? Did you hear the very weird thing that's happening in Japan right now? Shoot, where was it?
I like how even you don't know until you find the article.
I thought it was right there on the next tab, but I somehow got bumped up on the page. But there is a very weird cause of injuries going around these days.
Uh-huh.
Human pyramids.
Is this the work of an enemy stand? Is Dio just pausing the world and stacking people in a pyramid?
Human pyramids continue in Kobe schools as injuries mount to 51. Mayor's pleas to stop remain unanswered.
I feel like it's Dio. Like, it's either that or it's some other stand that just, like, forces people to get themselves stuck in a human pyramid for some reason. How this helps the stand user in any way, I don't know.
But 51 people have been injured from human pyramiding.
Mm-hmm.
That's just bizarre.
I'd love to know what the reasons are for it. Like, is it a fad that took off? Is it some kind of protest?
I didn't read the article.
Maybe you should have.
Maybe.
Like, I'd love to know what the reasoning for it is. Like, is it only in the one high school?
It only seems to affect schools.
So plural, there's more than one going on here.
Yes.
But we don't know, like, how wide it is.
It just seems to be primarily in Kobe. All these injuries.
Were they not eating enough Kobe beef?
Ooh, delicious Kobe beef.
Clearly, this is a demand for Kobe beef. Someone bring in our greatest chef to cook it for them.
Maybe.
No, seriously though, I'd love to know what the hell the reasoning is. I feel like there has to be something behind it, because I can't see it just happening for no reason. Whether it's a fad or whatever, like, I can't see anything else.
Anything on your side?
Not much really. It's mostly just, prepping for the next Let's Play that you and I are going to do after we finish up Banner Saga 2, which, by the way, we'll probably have to do a test at some point with that, just to make sure everything runs smoothly before we go ahead with it.
I think we only have a tiny bit left as of this recording.
Like I said, we could probably, if it ends early during the session we can test it then, or the following weekend. Whichever one winds up being better, because I have no idea whether or not, like, how the setup's going to work 100% quite yet.
We'll be streaming that. Well, your end will.
We'll be streaming half of that, yes. Or at least that's the plan anyway, so long as everything runs smoothly.
Hopefully.
There are no promises. Other than, like, prepping for that, not really much. I've been reading the third book of the Stormlight Archive, and I've had it for like a year, and I've just been, like, not getting the chance to read it because I've had other shit going on. So I've been using some of my free time on that, and I've dove into Minecraft again. One of the mod packs. I think it's a little bit of everything. I've been playing that mod pack. I've been enjoying it so far, but we'll see. Who knows how long I'll stick with it before I just burn out on it again.
I know the new Magic the Gathering novel drops next month, which is a sequel to War of the Spark Ravnica, which was pretty.
I wish I knew what any of that means.
War of the Spark is the, I guess, story arc is based around and Ravnica is the main area where it takes place.
Okay.
Granted, I don't know the full lore and backstory of Magic the Gathering. Every now and then they would mention the name. I'm like, oh, I know who that is, and that's about it. But it was a pretty good read. I'm not super into fantasy, but I liked it. So if you like
Mm,
fantasy, I would recommend it. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'd look at it. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where I'd feel like I need to either after reading it, wiki dive super hard to fucking understand what's going on, or just start from the beginning. Like that's honestly the only way it would work for me. Like I've done the thing where like I've started a book mid series and been like, oh fuck, what? But wait, what are they? I don't hut. I was so lost. Like what was it? It was actually this is an anime we could cover at some point. And I can say that because Orion's not here. What is it? Deltora Quest would be a good one to do at some point. But that started off as a series of novels, 3 separate series, in fact. The original Quest one, which is the same as the anime. Um, the I believe it was the Shadowlands. No, it was either Dragons or Shadowlands that came next. I forget which one, but it was 3 sets of novels. It was Quest, Dragons, and Shadowlands. I think I started like in the middle of Dragon, in the Dragons part, and was like, I was so lost. What's happening? I don't understand. And then I think I read that from like either the last book or like the second to last book, and then read the like books backwards in like the complete opposite order of that series. Because this was the point where we had Scholastic book fairs going on, and that's the only way I got my hands on these at that point.
Oh, I remember those.
Like I'd get money to throw at the book fairs, and I'd be like, "Oh, I want that. That's part of that series I was give me now." And because they only had a certain things there, I could only pick up certain ones that were not part of the series. Now, most people would probably ask, Brandon, why aren't you going to a fucking bookstore, you moron? And the answer was, I was 8. I couldn't go. And because at that point I had no idea how to look for a book in a bookstore.
I remember speaking about those Scholastic book fairs. Rachel brought a pamphlet home when I was in middle school, and there was just one, and I was half getting into manga at this point. I'm like, oh man, this manga looks awesome. It was actually a book, not a manga, but it had such an anime cover. It just drew me in. I'm just like, oh, might as well read it anyway since it's now my book, and it wound up getting me hooked throughout the entire series.
Yeah, I used to pick up the Shonen Jumps there when they had them. Because you could buy those there.
I think
And
it
they'll be
was
like, I can get myself a new Yu-Gi-Oh card for it. Yeah.
I think it was called Broken Sky.
That sounds familiar. I might have seen it in there too at some point. But getting back to what I was doing with Deltora, I think I read the Dragon books in the exact opposite order from the last book to like the first book. Then I think I jumped into Shadowlands, which was I think the last series in there, and then I went to the original. Like I went in the most ass backwards way to get through that series. It was ridiculous.
Just like Orion and Food Wars.
Orion and Food Wars is more sparsy. Mine was just straight up in the fucking wrong order. Like if he was watching Food Wars, he'd literally be watching them from the last episode to the first episode, which he did not do, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, he just watched the final 2 episodes of the first half of season 3 for some reason first.
Yeah, but he has the complete and utter perfect ability to correct himself immediately and go to the first episode and go right through everything in the right order.
Yeah, they like.
I didn't have that ability as a child
He's like,
with
wait,
those
what's going
books.
on? This already happened.
Oh man. So yeah, books are fun.
Yeah, but since it's the two Brandons, it's time for a Dragon Ball Super review.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as usual, we waited for the English the English dub to finish up before finishing this arc, the Tournament of Power arc,
Universal Survival Arc.
Universal Survival.
It bounces back and forth. People know which one is which. It's fine.
It was very intense, very magic time frame where 47 minutes is about 30 episodes.
Oh, come on, man. How many episodes was Frieza's 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They've done this before.
The final 3 episodes were 2 minutes.
Now, to be fair, I can honestly give them credit in this one only because you're looking at a battle royale. So half of what's going on is probably happening simultaneously. One episode you'll be seeing like Vegeta fighting fucking like the Trio de Danger, and then the next episode you'll have Goku versus like Jiren for the first time, and those are probably happening at about the same time.
But as it nears its finish, with them being less fighters, the time frame just seems eh.
Do you wanna argue about time frame? Let's talk about how Goku has the most ridiculous level of stamina there is.
Yes.
Where he says, "I'm super tired. I can't fight." And then by like the next episode, "Oh man, I got all my stamina back. Let's go blue again."
Oh god.
Yeah, that fluctuates a lot. There's no real consistency with that.
Oh, and I know that you don't usually watch the English dub, but there is one character in there that I'm like, you will have to watch the English dub for, because he is voiced by Richard Horwitz.
You act like I know who that is.
Zim!
Oh, which character?
Dr. Yota.
I should have known. Wait, hold on. Isn't Rhoda the boar?
Yes!
The boar who we never find out why he's a professor or a doctor or anything like that, even though he seems to scream it at the top of his lungs anytime he gets a chance.
Yes, him.
Oh my fucking god.
It is glorious.
Is he using the Zim voice?
Something similar to the Zim voice.
Okay.
Because, like, it's enough. You can tell it's him.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh my god, is that Zim? Yes, it is!
Oh, man. So, here's the thing, right? Like the last couple times we've done this, I read the manga while you were watching the dub. So there are differences in this, a lot of which comes down to the fact that, like, the manga version is way shorter. Like, ludicrously shorter.
Is there, like, the amount of differences in the second arc?
I want to say yes, but that's only because, like, damn near everything that was in the anime gets cut.
Oh.
Like, the Frieza versus Goku fight that happens when Goku's recruiting Frieza, that doesn't happen on panel, I guess you would say, or on page. You don't see it happen. You just see Frieza and Goku show up after they've beaten the shit out of each other. Like, that entire fight is just not there.
That's disappointing.
A lot of the characters just get tossed off because Kale goes berserk. And she just eliminates, I want to say, like, a good fucking quarter of the participants on her own. It happens at about the same time it does in the anime, I want to say. And I want to say, like, maybe half of the people left get knocked off because of her at that point.
Oh.
All because she's going berserk and can't control herself.
So she's kind of like Broly.
Yeah, she's our female Broly, although she's got a bit more character to her. Although, maybe not anymore, considering the new Broly in that movie.
So I wonder if Broly is going to show up in the manga at some point.
I didn't go past the Tournament of Power arc. I stopped the chapter that it stopped. I feel like he does. I feel like I remember people mentioning it happening.
I think there's like one chapter dedicated to Broly, but
There might be. Uh, there might also be a thing where like he shows up later too. Who knows? A lot of the spectacular fights you get in the anime do not happen in the manga. It goes way fast.
that is so disappointing.
It is, and it honestly makes me feel like, in this case, I want to say that the anime is superior, but it's long. It feels really dragged out.
Hmm.
I would love to get like a mix of the two. Fuck it, have the two do a fusion dance. Give us that result. It'll probably be better.
Yes. Yes.
It'll be a good length. A lot of the characters that don't matter won't have to matter. Like Tien doesn't even do anything in the anime in the manga. Like he at least does something in the anime. He gets nothing in the manga. He's just immediately out.
So he's first out rather than Krillin?
No, the order's still the same. It's just he gets kicked out immediately after Krillin. Like if I remember right, it's still the Frost bullshit that gets Krillin. I think it also gets Tien too. I think both of those, yeah, they were. Both Tien and Krillin get knocked out because of Frost. And if Goku didn't show up, he would have gotten Roshi too.
Oh, Roshi and his special training.
But what about his death, man?
Oh, yeah.
He's near death with Goku crying and having a big emotional reaction. That doesn't happen in the manga.
Nani?
The best we get is Roshi actually going up against Jiren? I think if I remember correctly.
What?
Yeah, Roshi throws himself at Jiren. And here's the interesting part, and this is something that I think should have been in the anime, this bit. Roshi actually has like the very beginnings of what could be considered Ultra Instinct.
What?
As he's going, Whis is observing him and he's like, huh, that's not it. But the very basics are damn near identical. It's super unrefined. It's clearly he doesn't have it down, but the idea is there.
Huh.
Like Roshi's able to dodge a couple of Jiren's blows, and that's probably because Jiren's just not straight up taking him seriously at all. He's doing so without like letting his body move, and of course, he's doing so by trying to teach his old student, being like, "You need to let it all go, Goku." You know, and it's a little heartfelt thing until Jiren's like, "All right, cool, had enough of this," punches him, throws him off the edge, and then Goku gets Ultra Instinct because he got a pep talk from Roshi. Very anticlimactic compared to what happens in the anime.
Was this like early Ultra Instinct or like complete?
Early Ultra Instinct, if I recall.
Did he go early Ultra Instinct twice?
No. He did it once where it wasn't there, and then it ran out. And then the second time, I think he got it full on for like near the end.
Okay, because in the anime, he did it twice and then got it full on.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just something about the intro that seemed very for kids.
I will say this. I heard Ultimate Battle's English version. I don't like it as much as I like the Japanese version.
Yeah. Since I listened to the dub, they always gave me the English translation.
Mm-hmm.
By like 95% of the time they did. Granted, I did like the Japanese bit a little bit better, but I liked the first one. I forget what it was, but I liked that intro a lot more. And I know it was near 50 episodes, but I was kind of surprised we had 4 outro songs.
I hadn't really noticed that, partly because I didn't really listen to the outros.
I mostly skip by them, but I'm just like, oh, a new outro, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another new one. It's only been 10 episodes.
Yeah, usually I think it's like 13 is the case where they do that. Sorry, I'm just like scaling through some shit quick. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. So, uh, Goku never fights Kefla in the manga.
Huh. They don't merge.
They do. In fact, it's the only way to get Kale to stop going insane. Literally, Kale is, I think, almost blown off of the arena. Kaba throws himself out there with the Patara earring to latch it onto her, and then Caulifla puts on the other one. And then they merge. Here's the other interesting bit. The Patara are not Champa's idea at all. It's literally because
Whose idea
Kefla,
is it?
it was Caulifla. Not because of the ideas you're thinking. She had no idea what they are or what they could do. She just thought they looked expensive and she could swipe them and sell them.
I could see her say that.
Yeah, totally swiped it. And that's why she had them.
By the way, Caulifla, best girl.
What, better than Kefla?
Maybe.
We also never get to see like the what are they? The Namekians from the Universe 6. They get knocked off real quick thanks to Caulifla. Or
Yeah, but they
Kale.
lasted longer in the anime.
Yeah, but it's even more interesting with that one just because of like it basically tells you that it's not just two Namekians that can fuse together. You could fuse together hundreds, thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stuck with just, hey, a two-man fusion of that stuff. What else was there? Besides the fact that fucking Jiren is just Superman with Batman's backstory.
How about your favorite universe? Universe 2!
No.
Exactly.
They get old real fast. Did that happen for you too?
Not over the first few episodes, but by the end of their story arc, I'm like, yeah, why?
It overstayed its welcome. The manga
Especially,
more or less launched them off with Kale.
especially when the guys became magical girls.
Yeah, that part doesn't happen at all in the manga.
You're lucky.
Yeah, it's not a good one, not gonna lie. They totally overstay their welcome and it's just hard. Like it was funny the first couple times, but then it's like, come on, man. No more. Let it go away.
I mean, it was a good concept to balance out the Sentai-esque Cry Troopers,
Oh yeah, totally.
and I love the colorful explosions.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, that is so hilarious.
By the way, how'd you like Hit's new ability?
Interesting.
Where he basically puts time skip on another person.
It basically freezes them.
Doesn't free well, he can, depending on who it is. Though if it's someone like Jiren or someone strong, probably like Goku as well, it slows them down a lot. If it's a weaker person, they probably would get frozen in place.
And I just loved it how the girls were transforming, and 17 is like, okay, screw this, just blast them. And
Yeah, that should have been the last time they did that trick.
and then Top comes running out, having no pride in the transformation.
Yeah, right? That's Topo. Topo's like, fuck you. Come on,
Please,
man.
please continue, girls. We're happy to see.
But we're not. We just want him to go away. Oh, it's so bad.
And since I do watch Kamen Rider, I just love it how the enemy is just standing by, waiting for the transformation to finish before attacking.
Here's the other thing I wanted to mention too. So we kind of breezed past this, but I did mention that it's not Goku that fights Kefla. It's actually Gohan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's real interesting because the two fight each other to a standstill. Like literally, they knock each other off.
Okay, I was not expecting that.
Oh, here's the other. You want to know the other interesting bit?
Okay.
Uh, so you were talking about Universe 2. Let me jump back there for a second, all right? What do you think actually defeats Universe 2?
Hatred.
No.
Um,
Honestly, I really like this part. I kind of wish it was in the anime. I'll be absolutely honest. I know a little bit of this comes up in the anime, but it doesn't go as far as the manga pushes it.
I don't know.
It's Krillin. Just Krillin sitting in the audience. Literally, Ribrianne stops. Her two lackeys have 18 like tied up, essentially. And she stops her attack, drops to the ground, and is like, "Who is that gorgeous man?"
What?
18 responds, there's like, "It's Krillin, my husband. Got a problem with that?" And it's like, what? How did an ugly beast like you marry such a fine specimen?
What?
That bald head and no nose, such pleasingly simple features. His looks are beyond perfection.
But didn't she think Krillin was ugly in the...
I don't remember. I remember there was something that went on with them. Keep in mind, I watched the original run of the sub, so it's been like a year since that ended. So details are hazy.
I think she found Krillin kind of ugly since he didn't have a nose.
Well, in this one, she's just like obsessed with him, and because like her faith in her own beauty, I guess, has been shaken. Her powers start wilting.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I know 18 drops her lackeys. I think Ribrianne herself gets knocked out thanks to Kale. And then we have... Who actually knocked off 18? I'm curious. Oh, it was one of the invisible dudes from Universe 4. Either the invisible one or the little girl or the little guy.
I did like the nerdy one's civilian form. She was kind of cute.
I mean, that was the intent with all of them. What else happened in this that was really good? Oh yeah, how did you like the Frost Frieza thing?
Oh yeah, where they quote unquote team up.
Just completely backstabs him. Like, yeah, fuck you. Don't trust anyone.
You thought you could trust me?
It's even better just because, like, the fucking Zeno is just like, nah, we're gonna make him disappear now. Because he's, like, ready to just break the rules of the tournament. He's so pissed off. Surprisingly, that doesn't happen in the manga. I thought for sure he was gonna get erased.
Zeno is the voice of the audience.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. Except, like, they don't follow their own rules, which is kind of disappointing. Like, the whole Potara thing's supposed to be a tool, but it's fusion, so it's cool, and it's K.
We say it's acceptable, so it is.
Yeah, I would prefer if they would stick to their rules.
Well, they are young children.
At least they look that way, but they're supposed to be, like, having existed since the start of the universe. Universes, I guess. Multiverse? Multiverse.
Yeah. Multiverse would be a good way to put it.
Yeah, like, they existed long before that. Oh, shit! I just realized this.
What?
I've been scanning back through the manga as we've been talking. There is a character in here that's very reminiscent of Cell, actually. Here, hold on. Here we go, start sharing. This character here. Is that not just like a Cell reference? There is a person that Kaba was fighting that looks very reminiscent of Cell.
Yes, he does.
It's weirdly reminiscent. Like, the only difference is, like, the coloration from what I can tell. And he's got, like, spikes on the back of his feet. But yeah, that's really close to Cell. That's weird.
And that was chapter 37, page 27.
Yes, it is. That is interesting. Okay. I was getting back through just to, like, remind myself, because I read this, like, on Monday, and it's Sunday of the next week. It's been, like, 7 days. Yep, Frieza fighting, pissing off, Kale going berserk, literally throwing everyone around, blah, blah, blah. How'd you like the ending, by the way?
I was surprised that 17 was the one to do it.
See, nobody expected him to still be alive, and that was a trick that was well played.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, nobody saw that coming, or at least nobody saw it coming that I was watching or, was paying attention to it. Everyone thought he had absolutely killed himself.
But notice notice how the advisor for the Omni Kings didn't say that 17 was eliminated from the tournament.
No, he didn't. However, he was like, they just thought they had to sit down and consider it at one point, right? About a guy that killed himself. Like, killing others was, a rule. Like, not killing others. Nothing about doing it to yourself.
Right. But if you eliminate yourself by like vaporizing yourself, they should announce like Android 17 is gone for the tournament.
Well, I mean, they kind of did when they allowed the rule in place of like killing yourself. Like, it's kind of alluded to that, yeah, he's gone. It's not outright stated, but it is alluded to.
Yes, and I know it's been alluded to, but
Yeah, and that's more than enough for people to draw to their conclusions there.
yeah.
Uh,
And you were right. Jiren is kind of Superman with Batman's backstory.
Definitely. Oh yeah, that's right. Kefla basically knocks out all the Pride Troopers except for Jiren, Topo, and Dispo. At least in the manga, anyway.
I like Dispo.
He's weird because he's like the same race as Champa and Beerus, or very close to it. Like, he's a little bit more of a rabbit than a cat, but like otherwise he's damn near identical.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Go for it.
And like that guy who can change his form and
Autoplessa.
300 times speed, 300 times power, and 300 times strength.
The Power Ranger.
Oh yeah, him.
That's just what he's wearing, a Power Ranger outfit. Or a Sentai outfit, or a... no, he's not so much the other one that I'm blanking on right now.
Kamen Rider.
That's it. He's more Sentai.
Yeah, but I did like the fact that he was split up between like the power, the strength, the speed, and then he had like the final form which combined them all into one.
Which makes you wonder why he wouldn't just use it all at once, because there was nothing to tell us he couldn't.
Why does Goku don't go blue right from the start?
See, that's an argument that most people have, and the only difference I can see is that Goku likes to challenge himself. So he challenges himself based on whatever form he's using at the time. So he'll work his way into the other ones as he thinks is necessary.
But this guy just didn't have a reason for it.
Oh yeah, no, here we go. Here, hold on. Let me just go ahead and just spew at you Master Roshi's lovely little teachings. So this is immediately after he's like watched Goku not do anything to Jiren. Let's see here. Sheesh. Looks like my old apprentice is still only half baked. Goku, what's strength mean to you? Let's see here. Strength is blah blah blah. Super Saiyan Blue can't even keep up with him. And he's like, oh, who the heck taught you that? Frieza? Vegeta? He says, no, power is no way to measure things. We don't master martial arts to win fights. We do it to conquer ourselves. Until you learn not to get all caught up in the enemy's power, you'll always be green as the day we've met. Think of all the masters along your way. What did they teach you? Then we just get like a flashback to like Kami, Korin, King Kai, some of their lines, and then Whis. And then you get Roshi with his next lines of like, do you eat well, rest well, play well, learn well? And, then there's Goku, I don't know about the learning thing, but and then you get one last lesson from the Turtle School then, is on how to move well. Right up against Jiren, and he's dodging the shit out of it. Oh, it's great. But yeah, Jiren knocks him out with a, jab to the back.
Is there Master Roshi's training, quote unquote, in the manga?
What do you mean?
Where he overcame his obsession?
I think there's a reference to it, but I don't think it's actively shown.
Because they had a good quarter episode about him with the cat. I forget his name.
Poor. Yeah, I don't remember. Partly because I just went when the Tournament of Power started. I didn't reread some of the preamble because I had started this beforehand. He might have done it in the manga. I don't recall. However, if he would have done it in the manga, he never would have been shown using it because he was never fighting a female opponent. Also, he doesn't even use the Mafuba in here like he does throughout the entirety of the anime that I recall, at least. Like the anime, most of his fights are just, I'm gonna Mafuba the shit out of you, man, and then toss you off the edge while you're in this little, pill bottle. Whereas in this one, he's actively fighting and using experience.
But that was interesting how he tried to use the evil containment.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because the evil containment wave is only ever supposed to work on someone that's evil. Which makes you wonder, are the people he's fought just straight up evil?
Maybe because Frieza was evil, Frost was evil, so...
Yeah, but he was shown using it on some of the other ones. Like, some of the people that weren't, like, just random jobbers off of the other teams.
So maybe in their universe, they're evil?
Well, that's the question, right? Master Roshi would have no idea whether or not they were evil unless, like, he could sense it with their ki or something. Which I forget if is actually a thing that can be done. It might be. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, no, there's some interesting bits here. Goku barely holds on to Ultra Instinct that first time before he gets punched out of it. I'll be honest though, how did you like Vegeta's like new Super Saiyan Blue form?
Like Super Saiyan Blue 2?
Is it Royal Blue? Is it True Blue? Is it what is Blue 2?
I don't know.
Like we don't have a name for it as far as I'm aware. Like nobody's given it a name. We also don't get God of Destruction Topo. I was disappointed. That didn't happen in the anime, in the manga. God of Destruction Topo was cool.
Did they have anything different there?
What?
Like, how do they explain him, like, his gigantic boost of power? Like, did they...
He doesn't do it.
Oh.
He just straight up does not go into that God of Destruction form.
So, do they have a big fight with him at all?
I mean, Vegeta and him are going back and forth throughout most of the manga.
Okay.
It's not until I think here's actually an interesting part. So Vegeta actually, like, after seeing Ultra Instinct happen, goes on a bit of a rampage where he's like, fuck Kakarot, I'm better than him. And the power up that he goes through kind of shoves Topo out into like the floating debris off that's on the outside of the arena. Dispo goes out to try to save him and bring him back, but then Frieza comes in and just like, I don't think so, and just blows up all the rocks between them and the arena. So they're stuck floating out there as the island they're on starts to crumble. And then you got Dispo shouting to try and get Jiren to help bring them back. And Jiren's just like, nah. You guys sit up in the arena and watch in the stands. I got this.
I found that very interesting that near the end, the arena was crumbling and they had like more chunks to fight on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had a whole like 45 minutes or so of like characters just damaging the shit out of it. So there would be floating debris, and as far as I can tell, the gravity is a bit different there. Like they say at the beginning that the gravity is meant to be attuned to each person's own personal homeworld gravity, right? So as far as the arena goes, they never mentioned how the arena is affected. For all we know, it's just the people there. It might just be otherwise in a void with no gravity.
And I did hear that the Zeno Expo was very different in the manga.
I'm trying to remember. I didn't reread that part. I remember it is different. I just don't remember how.
I think something like all 12 gods of destruction fought.
They might have. Again, I don't remember.
Oh.
I didn't reread that part. I probably should have, but I didn't. I can't say for certain. Let's see here. I forgot about this. Yeah, like Vegeta actually puts Jiren on the ropes for a few minutes, and Jiren's like, oh man, look, cool. I'll at least remember your name because you were worthwhile for a little bit before he gets knocked right out the arena. He's just being a dickbag, Dispo helping, yep. Cool shit. And then we have the whole 17 faking his death shit again. Like, I forget, did he do this in the anime? But did he go to the point where he's like, hey, Krillin, 18. Watch my kids for me.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he gave a whole speech to them about how, hey, watch my kids for me and all this other shit. Now, granted, this one was a little bit more telegraphed because he mentions about a plan to Frieza, and then runs off and then goes and does that, and then we never see Frieza again until like the very end, where he and Goku team up to try and take down Jiren. Although the interesting part is he literally doesn't show up ever again until they all fell off the arena.
Oh.
He just gets up out of the rubble and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still here, guys."
Oh,
oh shit, I guess 17 won.
oh, pathetic monkey. You thought I was defeated. Here,
How
let me help you in the last moment.
how did you like the transformation Goku gets when he first goes Ultra Instinct?
It was interesting.
Like how he just gets eaten by the spirit bomb.
Yes. Yes, that was very interesting.
What I'm really curious about is where he went for those few seconds he was gone. Like nobody knew where he went.
Yeah, maybe he was like a being of pure energy then.
Maybe it's hard to say. Oh, here's the question I did want to ask. So there was that question of like, did they mention anything about like a heat coming off of Goku while he was in Ultra Instinct?
No, but they did mention that about Jiren.
You said, what did they say when he first went to Ultra Instinct? They realized what it was.
Everybody was kind of shocked and surprised.
Specifically, I'm talking about Whis.
Uh, oh crap, I forget his exact wording, but Whis was like, so this is it. He finally mastered it.
Because in the dubs, the subs I was watching, he always mentioned something about how he didn't like the heat that was coming off of Goku.
There was no there was
And
no heat mentioned at all.
yeah, and I don't know if that meant like there was a physical heat radiating off of him, or if it was like, I don't know, the attitude. It's hard to say. But there was always that line, and that always nagged me. Like, what does that actually mean? Like, is that a mistranslation somehow, or like something got lost there?
I think it got lost because I don't remember anything about heat in any of the Ultra Instinct scenes.
Yeah, okay. Goku starts off with unfinished Ultra Instinct in that fight against Jiren, and then awakens it midway through, and gets it fully, much like he does at the end of the anime. How did you enjoy the ending of the fight with Jiren?
Super awesome!
I'm going to be honest, the fact that like Goku flying in there, just bouncing, like barely able to hold Super Saiyan, like he's flickering in and out of it, is really awesome. That is a really awesome visual.
And I did like how God showed up. Like Super Saiyan God showed up, even though we didn't really have it in like 70 some episodes.
Yeah, they started mentioning how like base form Super Saiyan God is faster than Blue. There were points where they mentioned the whole transforming the instant before a hit to Blue to give it the power, and then going back to Red. I think Vegeta was doing that a lot too, if I remember correctly. That was a cool add-in to bring a nod back to that, because you haven't seen it since the fucking Battle of Gods arc.
Yeah.
Like it's just been, we got Blue now though, and then Blue Kaioken.
And then White.
Now we got, well, this one isn't even Saiyan related. Anybody could technically do this.
And Goku forgets how he did it.
Yeah, that happens in the manga too, and it makes you question like how.
Goku is stupid.
It's I don't yeah. Here's the thing. I have to assume that there's going to be a point where he's going to be able to go into it willingly. The nice part about that too is that Vegeta just comes in and outright says, "Yeah, no, Ultra Instinct is not my thing. I'm going to find my own way." And in the manga, even Whis is like, "Oh wow, I'm glad he actually thought of that, because yeah, Ultra Instinct is not a way that Vegeta would typically try to fight. I'm glad he's not going to try, because it wouldn't work well with his style of fighting."
So, the Universe 6, Universe 7 arc, that was about split between the manga and the anime as superiority. The whole Future Trunks arc, you said the manga was better.
I feel that way.
And for the Tournament of Power arc, you said that the anime is better.
I feel the anime is better. It's just really long is the only real downside with it. Like there's places they could have cut it that you didn't really need.
I enjoyed this. This was a really good temporary finale to Dragon Ball Super.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we don't get any more down the line, the manga is still there, and I might have to read the manga now to know what's different.
Oh, I forgot about this bit. So there's a point where they reference the what is it called? The Raditz fight, actually.
Oh, really? Way, way back.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do something very similar where Goku's holding Jiren, except this time it's Frieza launching one of his death balls at him.
Oh.
And the fight would have been with Goku to take him with him. However, Jiren's just too strong and he throws the ball straight back up in the air.
And,
only to have Frieza flying in to punch him in the face.
And I did like the can we really trust Frieza?
Yeah, right?
There was that one moment when it's like, oh, what a perfect opportunity, saying we're both hidden from sight, charging up a beam, except it's a healing beam.
Yep. That was a great little fucking cliffhanger on the end of that episode where it's like, you're not actually gonna pull this shit, are you? Are you really?
Oh no, I just want to kill a Goku.
Consider us even, Saiyan.
So I guess that wraps up this episode. Tune in next time for some vampire hunting action.
We're talking about Vampire Hunter D, aren't we?
Think old school. Think, classic video games, if I'm not giving too much away. I probably am.
Nope, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm lost.
Alright, later.
Bye.